Imperial Wars and Colonial Protest. The background. Initial British colonial policy, salutary neglect. In the 1760s, the British assert more power over the colonies. Why? Various wars for the empire. Empires at War, a series of 4 wars in North America. Wars 1 through 3 against France for control over Canada. King William's War, Queen Anne's War, and King George's War. Throughout these wars, the colonists did not fight, just the British fought. No major successes for Britain, though. The French and Indian War was 1754-1761. Fighting actually occurred in the colonies by shipping large numbers of European troops. The causes of the war. French built up chains of forts along Ohio River Valley to halt westward expansion of British colonies. The Albany Plan of Union, the first meeting of representatives of all colonies, called for colonies recognized for coordinating colonial defense. This is the first meeting of all colonies and one of the first signs of unity. The Indian attacks on the British colonial settlements. Effects of the war. Britain has unchallenged supremacy in North America. British war debt was very large. Pontiac's rebellion. Colonists pushed west after victory against France, so Indians lead huge rebellion. British sends troops to defend colonies. England issues proclamation of 1773, outlaws any settlement west of the Appalachians in effort to limit conflict with Indians. Colonists angry that they can no longer expand. British actions and colonial reactions. New revenues and regulations to finance war debt and British troops that remained colonies to ensure peace with French and Indians. Sugar Act. Duties on foreign sugar and luxuries. The Quartering Act requires colonists to provide food and living quarters for British soldiers stationed in colonies. The Stamp Act, which was a tax on most goods, paper goods. Reaction, no taxation without representation, the formations of the Sons and Daughters of Liberty, colonial suspicion of a British plot to subvert their liberties. Phase 2 of the crisis. In 1762 to 1773. There was the Townshend Act, which was a further import on taxes, allowed the search of houses for smuggled goods with the right of assistance, general license to search anywhere. Massachusetts protests led by Samuel Adams and publication of the circular letter led to repeal the acts. The Boston Massacre. Renewal of conflict. The Gaspee. Colonists destroyed British customs ship in 1773. The Boston Tea Act was a response to the Boston Tea Party was a response to the 1773 Boston Tea Act. Colonial boycotts. Intolerable acts. 2 of them coercive acts served as punishment for the people of Boston and Massachusetts, and the Quebec Act organized lands in Quebec as Roman Catholic, taking away lands and religious freedom from the colonists. These were both in 1774. Philosophical foundations of the American Revolution. Growing differences between the loyal colonists and the king. Enlightenment. Movement in the 18th century Europe, which served as a basis of principles of constitution. Darkness of past can be solved by reason. John Locke stated that most following natural laws, people have rights just because they are people. Locke also said that citizens have the right and obligation to revolt against a government that fails to protect their rights. Rationalism. Human reason. Huge impact on George Washington, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams. Here's a little bit of a timeline.